Hello everyone, here on SpeedGaming 4 to another race from the Metroid Prime 2 Randomizer Mentor Tournament. We do have the race between Nystrata and the GingerChris today. I'm Rantakia, I will be commentating that for you. And yeah, let's see what Reed brewed up for this race. Have been some interesting happenings during the bracket phase already. Let's see if Reed can keep up with it or can even hand out a Reed special. Yeah, this is a second round upper bracket match. Winner moves on to face the winner of Java and Steve. And we are on the way. And we're starting with main power bombs. As for runs agreements, quick note, only new patcher. So yeah, these main power bombs are required, or one of the requirements to even get into GFMC. It'll be interesting to see if that happens. And we have a translator in Dynamo Chamber. Yeah, that's probably going to be Ember, and we're probably taking that with us. Of course, though, first we're going to find the Dark Alpha Splinter. Okay, this should be synced up, and yeah, of course, also with these power bombs, we can make the second part of this fight very fast and get our mothball bombs. So yeah, a lot of explosives early on. Also got a missile expansion now, I think, from the transport B axis, so we can even check storage cavern B. And yeah, I was okay. Nystrata not picking up those missiles. I'm slightly curious about that decision. As far as I know, there are no required mains on, so maybe worried about the health there, but that seems to be a bit strange to me. And yeah, that apparently was a dark beam in storage cavern B, which yeah, you don't want to leave that behind if you go to Hagen. And indeed, it is Amber in Dynamo Chamber, as the hint probably let us suspect. In the comms area. Get another missile expansion, so Nystrata might be getting bailed out there, although if Nystrata goes towards GFMC without missiles, then will not be able to Oh no, never mind. We get weird. Taken mistake. So it will work out for Nystrata here with that missile expansion. Get the Dark Beam on the second pass. And we get double kobolds today. So very language heavy seed. Of course means we're getting a lot of hints. Probably. Sort of taking the middle path here, not going for the double bomb jumps. A little bit slower. Works out nonetheless. And there's Dark Visor in Transport A access. Like 5 minutes 30 in, and we have almost all of our HUD systems. 2 more remaining. Also, this early Echo Visor, which or Dark Visor, which interestingly enough might not be amber locked, since Dark Visor plus Seekers will allow us to get back out towards GFMC in Logic. Yeah, could be make for an interesting seat where Emerald turns out to be very light or even skippable. Let's see. Emerald, if I might have said Ember there. I definitely meant the green one. Life support system in the Cursed Lake. Probably an E-Tank. But might be a suit. Started getting the Dark Beam. We have Grapple Beam. Interesting. Did GingerChris hit the elevator too early there and didn't get the hint fully? Oh boy. Nope. Did not get the hint. Unfortunate. Well, let's hope that we try to find the hinted item very early, or we will get there on a second pass. Of course, for mining plaza, we have bombs to climb it with in Logic. We have missiles that are not in Logic yet, but we can use them. Launcher away from 3 rooms away from mining station. I not fully saw if it's up to, but yeah. That hint, Chris will probably not miss too much. Suit can be found in Mineshaft, which is already accessible. Not in Logic yet, but like we most likely will find that Logic soon. Might be even here. Nope, that's Emerald. So about those HUD systems, yeah. So, question for chat. When do you think the runners will encounter Echo Visor? If at all. Okay. Gonna check Sand Cache. Meanwhile, check the end in MSA. Says that Chica has a missile expansion. So, no checker fight today. Reed apparently still in vacation mode. And there's our launcher. No too big surprise. So the hint that GingerChris missed, not gonna hurt in any way, shape, or form. I kinda missed what was up on the spider rail in MSA though, if the runners peaked. We apparently also found an E-tank somewhere. And looks like we might have our first diversion. Dark Visor's in Great Temple, thanks game. GingerChris fighting Bomb Guardian. Meanwhile, Nystrata might head straight for the early Dark Aegon loop. Which, knowing that there's a suit in Mineshaft, I very much prefer what Chris is doing here. Especially since we also have power bombs, which we got another free one. And we can get the hints here too. Boost buff can be found in Incash 4. Wow, that's a nice hint. And Nystrata just activating the portal and then turning back around. Okay. Sand Cache might have been the E that I missed. Makes sense. Oh, there's our Dark Suit. We knew about that one. After getting the Chica hint. Now, high fives for our runners. Chris probably heading towards the Dark Aegon loop. Strata grabbing Bomb Guardian and the suit. But yeah, it looks like Nystrata missed the quick kill here on Bomb Guardian. Had it on second attempt though, with the power bomb. And gets one back, so that's kind of convenient. Yeah, Chris will now have to do the pirate fight. But we have power bombs, so that fight is not super scary at all. Also got our second E-tank. And Chris finding out that the Dark Visor was in Great Temple. Nystrata getting the hint about the boost ball, so we'll most likely go for the Aegon loop again without any further ado, because we want that and we can get that. And it is logical. And we don't really have too many more options. Like, sure, we could go to fight Dark Missile Trooper. To the Hive Chambers. But for logic, that's currently about it. So yeah, Dark Aegon's probably where we are supposed to be headed. Well, now we don't have Spider, so I don't think Sank entrance is an option just yet. We would need Space Jump at the very least, or Spider. And was that light suit? That looked very, very big up there and rotatey. So, yeah, we can grab that. Just grab the boost ball, turn around, boost up the pipe, and grab light suit. Why not? Which now opens up FTA. So, feeding pit actually not a concern yet, as we have no logical access to it without Space Jump. Or Light Beam. But FTA is an option. Which would also put that Emerald into the logic chain that we got. It's absolutely a suit. Nystrata taking a quick think break? Not sure what for, but might be noting something. Nothing in Trial Tunnel. Which I guess is not too surprising. And now we do have the Jump Guardian fight from likely both our runners. Just shooting the air in front of the statue where the hitbox of Jump Guardian is already spawned in. And we can take advantage of that and damage Jump Guardian down before the fight even starts. But luckily we are not able to outright kill Jump Guardian in that state, so we are not deleting that item or the fight this way. Always have to jump in, start the cutscene, get at least 2 hits in, and yeah, That's the Jump Guardian fight. But Nystrata is immediately going for the fight, not going for Trial Tunnel, and we get our first Inghive key. Yeah, probably not that helpful. And now Chris going back to the Light World, most likely collecting that light suit and whatever is the transport center. Also being a few frames too early on that start press to the cutscene skip. Happened so many times. Transport center has so. And yep, going to grab light suit. So now options for FTA are likely space jump, could be light beam, maybe spider if the I mean it's a read seat, so probably spider to be funny. So yeah, like not really too much options here at this point. Go back to Temple Grounds, do the Hive Chambers, because they still could have something that we were supposed to get, and then go FTA, because that's what likely the logic points to currently. See if Chris remembers to pick up the hint in Aegon Transport. Again, we know Chris does not need to, because it would only hint to the missile launcher, which we already collected. But you never know. Sometimes violet hints actually can be useful. And yep, we go for it and find out. Yeah, we didn't need that hint at all. Looks like Nystrata doesn't really know the strategy to hop onto the blade pods on the right side on the way towards the portal again in the Dark World. Double jump, bomb jump isn't quite that easy, if it is even possible to do it. Has to go back around. That's quite a decent time loss here. And thegingerchris now on 5 chambers. Power bomb makes Dark Missile Trooper very easy. Power bomb's very strong against a lot of early game bosses, and that's our first Sky Temple key in 5 chamber A. We'll take that. Ion Chamber B has a missile expansion, so yeah, FTA it is. If I am being correct, it is the only logical chat that we have available at this point. Because we have neither Light Beam nor Space Jump to logically get into labs. We do not have Spider Ball yet due to Sank Entrance, which I want to say would also be logical with Space Jump, but with Space Jump we have also a lot more open to us. And we cleared Temple Grounds as far as we could. I think without Space Jump there's nothing else that we can get. We don't think we can get with the two Hall of Honor dead without Light Beam, without Space Jump. At least in logic. Of course, we also cannot get in logic onto the ship. So yeah, FTA has to be the answer. Let's see out what answer it is. Looks like Nystrata decided to take the safe warp instead. Graphics suit can be found on Crossroad. Thanks, game. And it is Seekers. Okay. Well, that's Torvus access. Go back to Agon. Take the boost pipe. We have Emerald. Like, not that we can do much there. It's underground tunnel, and that's it. We also have mining station B, but I don't think it is logically possible to get the item without beams currently. Or without another beam to do it vanilla. We need to hit the portals. So, without Light Beam, MSB is having a hint for us, which can be nice, but probably doesn't really help. The underground tunnel. What will we find there? Like, the boring answer would probably be Space Jump. The definitely more interesting answer would be Light Beam. The funny answer would probably be Annihilator. And Spider would probably be the nasty answer. Here we go for a GingerChris. One item, one hint. And it is light beam. So hope you don't miss your space jump. We might not need it very early this seed. 5 temple keys, Dark Aegon and Inghive. Interesting to know. I've already seen Dark Aegon. 1. But yeah, this makes potential plays towards Spider's Treasure a little bit less interesting. And that's Echo, isn't it? There we go. All HUD systems collected. And Chris going back out, because we cannot really do much more here without Space Jump. So, yeah, chat now pointing out interesting stuff there in chat. We did get that grapple reasonably early. Yeah, that might be required for something. And I mean, this is a read seat, so we obviously all know what's going to happen here now. Well, GingerChris heading towards labs, or like at least taking the route through Sand Canyon, check vent shaft A, and we have 2 options from there: go into labs, which would be kind of a soft lock, but we do have kind of a logical soft lock without Space Jump or Spider. Nystrata seems to be a bit lost in confusion. Maybe not realizing that we have Taurus access with this loadout. But maybe just needed a bit time to think about it. Well, MSB? I think that was just a missile up there. Storage A has missiles. To get a hint, if we so desire. Oh, okay. Yeah. Echo Visor hint 2 rooms away from Dark Torvis Key 1. Now, was it exactly 2 or up to? Probably means that the Torvus key is in either Forgotten Bridge or Torvus Temple? We know we don't need it. Is Nystrata heading the right direction? Maybe not. Not sure if Nystrata actually opened up Transport Center. Yeah, that was a peak for Mining Plaza, which I didn't fully grasp. I wanted to say it's maybe a missile. It didn't really look too important. But yeah, GingerChris heading directly for Spider's Treasure or Sank. Meanwhile, Nystrata on the right path. Now, we could be supposed to go into Torvus from the front now with that light beam. Think? Maybe not without space jump. No, I think not without space jump. I mean, as far as Sank goes, we do have Darkvisor and Seekers. That looked like an SDK in Culling Chamber. So, yeah, we can go up towards Upper Sank without space jump here. No problem. The red key is an Inghive key, most likely. Yeah, it is. It looks like Chris does not want to take the risk for Upper Sank without space jump just yet. Did we grab Spider, or what is Chris doing here? Just trying to grab the hint. Yeah, of course. And that's a joke. And back to labs we go. Which is a risk in and of itself. Like, neither runner has opened up the front, so it's not like we can get out easily without additional help. Meanwhile, there was on Dark Samus 1 fight. And nothing in Storage D today. Looks like Chris is foregoing scanning the Dark Races in. You can just log onto the scan point and then walk back towards the little elevator that gets you in range. So you could have checked that if you really wanted to. Yeah, we're doing sand processing. For a burger. Like Nystrata also, again, heading towards potentially MSB and Spider's Treasure or Labs. Now, will be interesting if Nystrata maybe decides to go further into Sank, and apparently also passing on MSB for now. Now, we know that there's nothing required in Storage A, so it's not going to be a problem. And the hint wasn't helpful either, so not going to miss out. but yeah, I think you want to check when they're here, definitely. Nothing else, it's an E-tank. Fortunately, missed what was in Byron production, not that we can really get it. Bridge D has missiles. Nystrata immediately going for the end. That is supers and command center. Short game. Warriors Walk, anyone? I mean, that is a way out of labs. Nothing else. I think. Which would open up more of Torbus. Or more ways around Torbus. Like just normal missiles and Battleground. I missed what was the fight item. That looked also like missiles on Warriors Walk. To answer a question, chat. No, I don't think Plane of Dark Warship was checked by either runner. Given that we had to get Light Beam for that, which was in Torbus. And yeah, we rushed back to two labs. Looks like thegingerchris might be going for feeding pit here. Or at least attempted to go back after a save. Seems to have abandoned the idea for now, and a save warping. Meanwhile, Nystrata back into a labs. Fortunately, only getting half of Dark Summons with the Power Bomb. But yeah, looks like We're going now towards the Torvest side of things here. Hall of Honor Dead. War Ritual Grounds. Defiled Shrine. Sky Temple key hints. Not like we need Space Jump to get those. But Rexus has a missile expansion. So, missile bosses are not looking hot today. And that is something that GingerChris is not interested in. Couldn't fully get a good look of it. Also, Seekers. Yeah, chat. Thinking of Sonic Boom, it definitely looked like a charge combo of some sort. Like Nystrata, trying to figure out what's possible here to check without Space Jump. Thinking about maybe wanting to turn around, not crossing through bioenergy production. But then it's trying to at least wanting to get that save station here, probably. Okay. Path of Ice and Annihilators and Gathering Hall. Interesting game. Not like we can really get to that yet, but sure. Hint that lets you worry. Why is that hinted? More than the actual hint being something useful. And that was probably light ammo, given that Chris is just turning away from it. Yeah, we're getting a look at Defiled Shrine. What do we have here? That is glowy. That Druid egg? No, that's a ball. That looks like spider? Cannonball. Oh. Perspective probably not being too kind. It looked smaller than it was. Well, I mean, that's a convenient cannonball occasion. That's fair, as Chet points out. Can grab that for Hampering 2 on the way to final bosses. Okay, Sky Temple Key. Where are they going to be? Ing Reliquary. Aerial training site. Under temple. Culling chamber, we saw that one. Dungeon. Sank entrance. Dark Torvus Arena. And Sank map station. So yeah, we don't need that Annihilator. We just need to locate Spider Ball, Screw Attack, and more importantly, probably Space Jump. We have everything else. So once we get Space Jump and then subsequently Screw Attack and Spider Ball, which we would need for finishing anyway. Although technically, I guess you could probably skip Spider. Technically, don't think either one will attempt it, but you technically maybe could. But yeah, Space Jump and Screw Attack and the Spider Ball are the big kickers. Sky Temple keys are not a concern. Yeah, GingerChris unfortunately not getting any missiles here, unfortunately. Wanted to check Wind Chamber Gateway, which is logical with that grapple. Oh, there we go. There's that priority drop. Looks like Nystrata is slowly but surely catching back up. Looks like an E. Yeah, that's an E. There's Grand Wind Chamber. I want to say that also was an E. It was a bit hard to see. Nystrata going for all of Undead. And looks like GingerChris is heading back towards Aegon. Maybe go Taurus at this point. We do have supers now. So we can get through the front. Check path of routes. More ball-related upgrade hinted in the Defiled Shrine. Nystrata may be thinking about what that could be, or if that is logical. As we know, it was in fact a ball upgrade. Even had ball in its name. Just not the one we were looking for. And we're finally getting a check of Plane of Dark Worship. We know Accursed Lake is knee tank, as we have all of our other life support systems. I have no idea what that is. That's light ammo. Almost an hour in. Space jump nowhere to be found. And our options are really not that great. Don't think we have a logical way to get into Taurus Temple yet. Might be wrong on that. Or maybe. I don't think Forgotten Bridges thought to be climbable without space jump on beginner. But yeah, there's still feeding pit. It looks like GingerChris is heading towards Torres Path of Roots. Meanwhile, Nystrata going for Sky Temple Keans. So yeah, Nystrata pretty much following Chris' route almost exactly, a few minutes behind. And turning around for GingerChris. Ah, missiles. Right. There's a super door that we need to get rid of. That makes sense. Okay, temple access has our gravity boost. Good to know if we want to go to our towers after we finally find space jump. Speaking of, first, our Morb is dead. Second off, space jump and Path of Roots. That grapple that we found like 50 minutes ago, finally finding its role in the logic. And now basically the whole seat is open to you. Not quite There are a few exceptions, but basically. Nystrata is checking the defiled shrine ball. Will see that it is canon. Going to scan it. But yeah, that is indeed cannonball. Nothing in Lagoon. That looked like a missile, I want to say. Oh. Does Forgotten Bridge have a red key? Doesn't. It does. So that's probably our Torvis key 1. It sure is. That's a burger. But yeah, bosses have all been hinted that only 2 boss can require us to get something, and I don't think that's possible at this point. Because I'm pretty sure logically that requires both Spice Jump and Spider Ball, Screw Attack and Spider Ball, which are literally the only 2 things that we are missing. Nystrata checking Central Mining Station. I'm pretty sure Nystrata cannot get out towards the front this direction. I'm pretty sure Nystrata did not open the gate. So it has to go back in. It's just more check to see if there's maybe something on CMS. Oh no. Yeah, maybe Nystrata realizing that this is not the way that's gonna work. And apparently resetting? Taurus Energy Controller. It's not really helpful. A major underground tunnel. Thanks, game. We probably want to pick up that gravity while we're here. We also know that Spider Ball cannot be Annihilator locked, given that's in Gathering Hall. Which like cuts out 2 checks, but that's the 2 checks where Spider cannot be. They can have screw attack though. Potentially. And we know that Incash 2 is dead. Which is definitely a good feeling to know. Although I guess there's still Incash 1 and Feeding Pit that are close to it, so like maybe it's not the worst. Or would not have been the worst. Looks like Nystrata might go for Wind Chamber Gateway. Maybe trying to go into Torvus from this side, but that's not gonna work. Okay, what is Plaza access? Nothing. We also know that Spider cannot be on Torvus Plaza, as that is logically required for that. Could be Screw Attack, we won't know for the moment. Okay. Dark Torvus. We can basically full clear the upper half. There's an STK here on Boost Guardian or the half pipe. We will find out soon. It's indeed an STK on the half pipe, so maybe not necessary to boost Guardian, but I mean, while we're here, and still looking for Spider and Screw Attack, which can both be here perfectly fine. We have Power Bombs. We have Light Suit. Might as well. That's the fight. And that's a red key. It's our first Aegon key. Now, technically there could be Spider on Mining Plaza. From what I remember from the check, it was not the color that Spider Ball would need to be. It was far too yellow for that. But that might just be bad stream quality. So we should not have a need for the Amorphous keys. In the Strata opening up Ing Reliquary, although that cannot really be anything. Oh, not Reliquary, a Cursed Lake. Sorry for that. Ing Reliquary is the key. Cursed Lake is the life support system, which, given that we have Light Suit, has to be an E-Tank. Dark Ammo in Dark Oasis. Oh, hey, look, an E-Tank in a Cursed Lake. Who could have seen that coming? That's a burger on Venomous Pond. also checking for W, finding out that that is nothing. And another E in cache B. All the letters. And Nystrata back towards Aegon, which is the correct direction. Now there's still the 50-50 of trying to go Feedic Pit or going to Torvus for Path of Roots. Which we know letter 1 is the correct answer. Yeah. Nothing too helpful in Upper Dark Taurus. But the Sky Temple key we needed, and then probably heading Lower Taurus. With that gravity. Getting 3 more hints. Can look menacingly at the Annihilator Beam and Gathering Hall if we want to. Cannot really do TTS without it, but that also can only be Screw Attack. But there is a Sky Temple key in dungeon, so we need to go down there at some point anyway. There's also one in Under Temple, which is probably the more annoying one, because we would either need Screw Attack or Spider Ball to get it, and we have neither. Nystrata now going for MSB. Fair. Hasn't been here yet. And for all they know, that could be base jump in both of these checks. We'll also get that incredibly funny joke in. And we're opening up the path to block, but then going to grab a hint first. Again, look at Annihilator. And okay, sure. Tumors apparently didn't want it to have to do anything with the seed and just nap the ETN. Extra boot can be found in Path of Roots. Thanks, game. Where was that hint an hour ago? Well, down here, but that didn't really help us at all. And Nystrata still trying to figure out, okay, what needs to be done here. Certainly don't blame them. This is not the easiest sea to get around to if you're newer to the game. Probably thinking about face on grounds. But I don't think the platforms that are there can be done without space jump, and apparently Nystrata thinking the same. Resetting again. There was a red key. We don't need any of those, so we can just pass that by. Should be an Aegon key. Though maybe not. Because I think the others... Oh, so it had to be a Torvis key, yeah. Okay. Training chamber has missile. And Nystrata... Seemingly a bit confused, taken back to Dark Aegon here. Don't think there's anything left to do over here. Might try to want to go back into Warrior's Walk with Supers here. Get to Feeding Pit. And apparently nothing in Under Temple access, as Chris immediately turns around. Now we're gonna check blog. And it's nothing. So yeah, Spider and Screw Attack probably in sync. I mean, there's still Under Transit 1 and Grapple Guardian left, I guess, so maybe you should hold out for that. Three power bombs. Talking a bit up on light ammo for Grapple Guardian. Nothing that really should stop us here. And Nystrata resetting again. Don't think we've gotten to feeding pit. Grapple Guardian down. Nucleus taking a swing. And that's a miss. And looks like Nystrata might be finally on the correct path. Pun intended. Up. Apparently not. Trying to go into laps from the front now? Or no, just go around. Probably get to feeding pit. And apparently completely blanked on what was not a transit one. Does not seem very important since the tracker doesn't show spider ball or screw tag, so that's not an issue. But that's it for Torvis for now. So yeah, looks like Sank is the answer. Looks like we are going for a safe warp. So is this gonna be... Nope, this is going to check... what are those called? I mean, we do have Seekers and Dogvisors, so yeah, this is just a path towards Sank entrance, probably to grab that SDK there. If you know how to get that without Spider. It is possible. But first, check phase and grounds and profane path. Well, no, not the latter one. We don't have another letter. So, phase and grounds. And in Reliquary. I think we have everything we need. Don't need screw tag or that. Which Reliquary is an SDK, so yeah, it absolutely makes sense to do. While you have the chance. And that's a missile? Well, Chris apparently not interested, so we probably don't need it. And feeding pit. Nystrata finally showing us there's ammo. Well, Those are all not on logic. And reliquary netting us the Sky Temple key number 8. And now Nystrata basically all out of options except for the one that holds the space jump, I think. What we are still safe warping, so yeah, that's not gonna be the correct answer, whatever this is going to be. Okay, 1:30, take our first peek at the ship. That's just a missile. And looks like Nystrata's completely lost on this one. Which, honestly, totally understandable. This is rude seed logic to get to that space jump. Look like Nystrata is at least on the right train of thought. Just needs to figure out, yep, that's the one. And look, the powerbomb from GingerChris missed completely. That's interesting. See if GingerChris has the skill set necessary to grab that SDK without Spider. And yep, Nystrata has managed to figure out where to go. Just needs to go there now. Okay, GingerChris maybe just ignoring the key for now. Like, there's no need to grab it immediately. Pretty sure you can do it spiderless. Not sure it's supposed to be done in beginner logic. Maybe the distance is too far from the standable in the middle. There we go, Nystrata. Taking a deep breath. And now has acquired space jump. almost 90 minutes into the seed. One thing this route did for Chris is that the way to Sank entrance is now open from Sank itself. So if we go back there, when we finally find the other piece that we need to do it, we can go there very easily. Which honestly might be our last SDK, and then we just route that into Sky Temple directly. But first, we have to locate the other things that we are missing. Now, interesting thing to think about is, are we going to Peak Hive Gyro Chamber? Cannot be Spider, but could be Screw Attack. Nystrata picking up Gravity. And we can logically cross this gap with the grapple beam. Although, since we want to open the portal here anyway, we can just open it from the side. Neat little time save, not having to shoot those pesky little things, because if we open the portal for the Seekers, there's a pretty easy strat to do this from the side that you come from. The cutscene that opens the gate will just reposition you to the other side. And that was a red key. So that's very likely being our last Inghive key. And doing what I was said earlier also has the upside of you don't have to shoot these again if you left the room to then open up the gate. So, Chris, if you're rewatching this, just look up opening that gate from the other side with the Seekers for a nifty little time save in these cases. It really is not hard. You just need to know once what you have to do. Hive Dynamo works. Beam related upgrade, there's this stat. I didn't catch what was in the tunnel. Huh. I actually didn't know that was possible there. Has been a while since I played that room vanilla. Without Screw. Which I'm pretty sure you don't need to do that with Space Jump. I want to say Slope Jump is enough to get over there, but I might be wrong on that. Pretty sure it is logically possible though without Spider and just going over there. Meanwhile, Nystrata getting all those helpful hints. Probably gonna go collect the Sky Temple key in Dark Towers Arena soon, and basically just do what gingerchris did like 15 to 20 minutes ago now. This will activate the cannon for a quick quad fight in this room. That's Spider Ball. Oh, we want that. So can't just do it vanilla, we do have Echo. So Spider Ball has been acquired. Sanctuary Temple access. So the only question left is, where is Screw Attack? And we basically have now every check in the game open to us. Except in Cache 2. Well, O'Lear just wanted to let you know, let the light of Ether shine upon you. So Spider was in Sanctuary Temple access. Was found like literally a minute ago. Like in the very room gingerchris is about to enter again. Looks like we're not getting a Spider Guardian fight though. At least for now. We're also not getting main gyro checked. And we are not in go mode because we're missing Screw Attack. But we're trying to cross watch station access with the boost jump. Now, importantly, while this specific trick that gingerchris is trying to go for is not in logic, all the checks that gingerchris will be able to access with that will be though. Well, not the ATS wall, I guess. But since we do have Spider Ball, we do have Boost Ball, we do have Echo Visor, we have Power Bombs, we have Gravity for good measures. We can get to Sank from Power Vis. And we can do Caretaker Girl. And that opens up Cat West. So we can get up. All in logic. To find our Screw Attack vanilla. Certainly possible. So, like, for all of us that maybe have doubted Reed's seed creation after that vacation, that it might have maybe not been up to par. You know, there's still options. Okay, actually, we know there's a Sky Temple key in ATS, but we don't know the second item. How about a screw attack on the no, I don't think that's possible. Not the way I'm thinking, because that's a screw attack wall. So yeah, no. Scratch it done. We grabbed the culling chamber key because we knew it was there. So what will Chris do now? Are we going back to labs? What does Sank entrance? Cannot be Hive entrance? Are we doing caretaker drone? There's no way, right? So, meanwhile, there were 2 comments made in race time. Both runners have expressed their opinion of the seat, and they are not the most fond of it, apparently. Well, that was the hint Chris needed. Screw attack is a watch station. So, yeah. You have 2 options. You do caretaker drone? Or you bash your head against the wall and watch station access with the boost jump. And honestly, if you are down there, maybe you just do caretaker. Let's see how fast Chris is gonna get that boost jump. Certainly not the easiest trick out there. You need to do a lot of quite specific button presses in a certain time order. But it's also not the hardest trick, I'd say. It is reasonably doable if you know what you have to do. Like, Ginger Chris, maybe looking up a tutorial for it right now. Like, what Chris is trying to perform here is to get an instant unmorph after a boost to the side, keep that boost speed for a space jump to the other side to at least hit the Terminal 4 trigger on the other side. Doesn't have to make it all the way, but yeah, similar to what Chris did here, that might not have been enough. Didn't quite keep the full speed there. Yeah. This looks good. There we go. Well done. Now to probably more trivial trick. Skipping this spider maze. Going for an instant unmorph, or maybe grab onto the spider rail above the gate. Since we do want to open that, there's a key in ATS that we need to grab. And not going for the instant morph on the second try, just go fast, grab your screw attack, and be done with this mess. While Nystrata slowly but steadily following what Chris had done earlier, clearing out upper torus. Probably next going lower torus. Now, interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure you can get to the power bomb door in Training Chamber without Screw Tech and without Spider if you have Gravity. So, if you would have entered Sang from that side, you would have gotten the Screw Attack hint way earlier. There's the Sky Temple key on ATS, so we can just immediately turn around. Don't need to look at the other item. Oh. Taking down Cat West. Get an E-Tank on the way. What are left for Ginger Chris? Sank entrance and Sank map, I think. No, maybe Under Temple. Sank map was called Under Temple. So, yeah, Chet, what do you think? PB Guardian or not? Grabbing some ammo from the ammo fish. And we will find out. The key on the wall? Do we have to fight the plant? And it is the wall. That's a little bit anticlimactic. And Chris bonks. Well, one last key to collect, which should be the Sank entrance one, right? But yeah, Nystrata will be released from the pain and suffering relatively soon. So we need to go one more time to Sank entrance. Probably going there with a safe warp, I'd imagine, from the route that Chris has taken. Not exactly sure what's going on the Strata's side. No mention in the race time chat yet for anything. Maybe just taking a break after this mess of a seed, which I absolutely understand. Sort out your feelings about the seed. Make them known. Collect yourself and then see from there. Here we go. GingerChris back on Sank entrance. In full force now. And there's an update from the race time, which I was kind of keeping an eye on. But Nystrata has decided to forfeit from this race. Is not feeling all too well, so after this mess of a seed and was not feeling too well. That is absolutely understandable. Seemed like there was an increasing headache going on there. I don't mean the seed, but an actual one. But yeah, as for Chris, there's not really much left to do on the way back towards final bosses. Chris does remember about the cannonball. Still sitting there. So final bosses shouldn't be really too much of a problem. Going to grab some ammo before going into the fight. These crates will first drop guaranteed 10 missiles until you full, then drop power bombs until you full. Taking a safety save. We go to Emperor Ing. Phase 1. Shoot the tentacles with a light beam, then shoot the middle with probably supers, 4 needed. Can one cycle this if you're decent. Yeah, this is probably not gonna work. Also that third super there hit the shield, unfortunately. So, more tentacles! Going to use power bomb apparently to try to get some 2 more supers to the middle. Not getting it by the beam. Up, that one hit the shield. That one also hits the shield. That. Ow! And the last one also hit the shield barely. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, the direction of the opening changing can sometimes throw you off. But one last super should do the trick here. There we go. Now, this fight is where the cannonball shines, because nothing can bother us while we're in morph ball form. Making use of power bombs. Even getting another drop there. Fortunately, thegingerchris not really getting great timing on the power bombs. That should work. There we go. For Empowering 3, we're trying to hit with the screw tech. As we apparently do have Nystrata here with us. So yeah.
Hello.
GG's there.
That's
Yeah.
So that was a seed. I can't even say that because I still don't know where Spider Ball went. Where did the TGC pick up Spider Ball?
You didn't even know half of it yet. Like,
No, yeah, I most of my blunder happened when I was blanking on where Space Jump could be. What are the highlights of what happened next?
so what you got to was like to the space jump, which Chris did find quite a bit earlier. Still took a lot of time to get there, but that certainly wasn't an early space jump. But yeah, after that, the search for Spider Ball and Screw Attack started, and yeah, Spider Ball was found in Sanctuary Temple access, which, I mean, by that point, getting there was the only hindrance to that. We had everything else. But then there was the hint in main research that Screw Attack is in Watch Station. Go figure out that one.
Oh.
Yep. That.
That's some fun walking around.
So, what Chris ultimately did was the boost jump across Watch Station access. After initially trying it, not getting it, getting around to go to check main research and finding the hint there, to just then deciding to go turn back around and then try it. Took a few more tries, but then got it in reasonable time. And is also doing a good job of Dark Samus Foreskip. Very well done here. In use of combination of Screw Attack itself and then Dark Beam shots. Yeah, finishing with the time of 2 hours, 3 minutes and 14 seconds. GG.
All right, congratulations, Chris. You know what? My big victory takeaway moment is that I've been struggling with the Great Bridge BSJ for so long, and I did it for the first time this run. So I'm gonna take that as my win, as my victory for today. That I did a BSJ that I had problems with there a couple weeks ago. So
that's probably the most important part. Like that is the literal reason for this tournament. Improve yourself, yeah. And like we had 5 weeks with assistance now, and then we are now having to try to figure it out on our own. But yeah, if you can find something to improve while this races, then I think that's like literally all we can ask for. Everything else is just bonus on top. So
yeah, well, it's been fun learning. It's really fun to try like new things. And you know, sometimes when I make a decision, like, would these be faster, or would it be more interesting to try to learn this right now? And sometimes trying to learn a trick mid run gives you some fun results. Hi, TGC.
Yep. We do have our winner now with us. Still muted, so waiting for that.
Hello, sorry.
Yeah, there we go. GG.
GG's, yeah. That was a seed. That was...
I mean, we were being kinda confused, knowing that this was a read seed after we had just all 6 translators or 30 minutes. It didn't really look like it was going to be that bad, but I mean, it was read, so we certainly should have known better.
Yeah, I was really hopeful because I got like all my translators like really early on. I was like, oh, I got translators and visors down set, and then light beam and dark beam came pretty early too. And I was like, oh, great. And then I kept blanking on where space jump could be, and I could, for some reason, my brain refused to believe that it was going to be in Torvis, and it just didn't take the grapple swing right over to get it.
My suspicion was Torvis. Like for some reason, the grapple beam being as early as it was really, really led me to Torvis. Like I wanted to be there.
I should
like the only two things that were playing my mind was could it be like SA and phase on grounds? That's why the grapple was there, or could it have been space jump and path of roots, which it was, and it was like that was the two kind of pieces of info I was trying to work with.
Yeah, I should have seen it coming because I had super missiles, grapple, and emerald. So I was like, oh, let's go to Torvis. But I went to Torvis and I went to Underground Tunnel and I just did not go to Path of Roots. And I spent, I think, like 5 or 6 resets just trying to find space jump all over the place.
I mean, if I remember correctly, light beam was there, right, in Underground Tunnel. So you no,
so you had to get
beam?
unless you sequence broke labs, i.e. taking like the NSJ bomb jump into the front, you had to go to Underground Tunnel for light beam to then take that light beam into labs to go and get supers, and then take the supers back into Torvis to get your space jump.
So that was the big thing, like neither of you did sequence break into labs, so both of you had to do that double trip to Torvis. It was not possible to get space jump on the first trip, and like the big difference, like for the most part, Chris took an early lead with some decision and just overall better movement, and some small tricks that saved quite a bit of time, like especially like Jump Guardian, getting back to the portal, like that no space jump strategy to get to the other side, which like from Judgment Pit towards the portal terminal isn't really that hard if you know what you're doing to get on the blade pods to the right side.
It's easier going that direction coming from portal terminal. The blade pod you stand on is a little bit further back, so you need to. It's a little bit more sketchier.
I completely forgot to use the blade pod. I was trying to like bomb jump my way up, and I completely forgot. Like, oh, there's standables in this room, so I had to go all the way around.
So like. There were some situations like these where Ginger Crystal, I wanted to say, took like an early 3 to 4 minute lead, and well, something around that, maybe around 3 minutes. Like it was substantially, but it wasn't too far. But for the most part, until like supers, you basically took the same route after that because like there was nothing really else left to do for you. There was just no separation that you could have gotten, like, and the earliest was then at the point where Ginger Chris decided to check MSB the first trip back to labs, or before taking the trip to labs, and
it was from the light beam, I think it was, because I took the I went back coming from Torvis, went back. Actually, no, I chased something else. I can't remember what it was I chased. Was it? Oh, I can't remember. This seed actually hurt my head at the beginning because for the longest part of like the first 20 minutes, I thought I was out of logic because for some reason in my head I forgot that bombs allow you to climb a mining plaza from the left side. So like a lot of it, I'm sitting there going, "What have I missed? Have I left missile launcher in like high chamber B? But if it's in high chamber B." how do I get to Hive Chamber B? Because you need missiles or like you need something to get over the gate. And for like the first 20 minutes, I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then it wasn't until I was leaving Aegon after doing like the full clear, I went, oh, I have bombs. I could just bomb jump everywhere. I was so annoyed with myself.
Yeah, like basically once you both decided to or got the supers, like there was where the difference started, where Chris almost directly went back to Torvus, I want to say. Decided to leave out on feeding pit, and yeah, that's like where the big difference started to pop up, where Nystrata
I
didn't
did
go
try to, because feeding pit really scared me. Like there was a point in my head where I thought point and no return feeding pit for space jump was the play. So like I went out, took the save, and then had debated going for the bomb jump to go back into battlegrounds and go all the way to feeding pit, because I couldn't remember if you can get out of feeding pit in SJ, because I think the bombs, like the liquid isn't the same as water. You don't get the same bomb jump height. So I was like, I don't think I can get out if I drop in. And then went for the bomb jump, and I was like, nah, you know what? I'm just gonna gamble it. It's not there. Let's keep pushing. And it felt really bad because space jump was still further out from there. It was still a while before we got space jump from there.
Yeah, but it was basically the correct thing to do, and you were correct in the assessment that you cannot get out without space jump there at that point. So, like, you did basically the correct thing to at least save, or try to save, and then did the right gamble, as you mentioned, probably also because of that grapple. So yeah, and like for comparison, Nystrata didn't get space jump until 1 hour 30, while Chris, you were I think already insane by that point. So
how far into the logic did you get in this? Did you see the icing for the cake at all?
Oh, well, I didn't go into Sank at all. Like
Okay,
I went
so
the Sank entrance, and that was the only room in Sank. Oh no, Sank entrance and Hall of Combat Mastery, and that was like the two rooms I've seen.
this seed was downright rude. This was, and Reed, we're gonna have words about this. I don't care that Caretaker Drone does a good job in the randomizer server. I am not doing vanilla Caretaker. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Screw Attack was in Watch Station, which means the only way to get to that side logically was to go through Caretaker to go up. And as soon as I read the hint, I turned around and went, nope, I'm going back, because I tried to do the bush jump earlier and failed it. I couldn't remember the button input, so I was like, nah, it's fine, there's nothing going to be over there. Started routing, picking up the rest of the hints I could. Found the Screw Attack in Watch Station, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going back to learn the bush jump this time.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and it was funny because they told me I saw in chat, and I was like, "Oh, hey, yeah, everything is in Screw Attack is in Watch Station." I don't know. It took me a moment to realize, oh, that means a logical caretaker. I wonder how you got around that.
Yeah. I refused to do Caretaker. Not a chance.
All right. I have to go. I hope y'all have a good time. Chris, thank you for being a cool opponent. And thank you, Raylan, for commentating. And thank you for the SpeedGaming team and the setup crew.
I mean, what can I say? It was certainly something to watch. I can tell you that.
All right. Y'all have fun.
GG's, Ness. Catch you
Thank
later.
you. Good game to you too.
So, Chris, for you, your next opponent will be decided between Java and Steve. That match will be later today, in about 5 hours, a little bit less, I want to say, on SpeedGaming 3. But there will be an earlier match on that same channel in about 45 minutes. So if you want to watch more Metroid Prime Rando, then stay tuned to that one. few things, maybe not a few last things, maybe to talk about. How bummed out were you that you didn't got the first Violet in there in Aegon Transport Access?
It annoyed me. I don't know why I kind of autopiloted into the strafe for it, but as soon as I done it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to come back out this way anyway, so I'm not going to waste the time and go back up the elevator to read a hint that could very well be useless anyway. And I think it was by the time I picked it up.
Like, that was the missile launcher hint,
Yeah.
which was in Portal Access, whatever that room's named.
It probably
What
would
did
have
I
saved
say?
me the 20 minutes of confusion when I was wrapping my head around the logic. Because I think if I got that, I would have realised, no, there's another way I can climb this room, and it was literally just bombs. I don't know why I forgot. It was just my brain. I farted.
No, but yeah, I would agree. If you just hit the elevator there, going back and then forth again, taking 2 additional elevators, that's probably going to be worse than Violet. And they tend to be just telling you about items that you would have found anyway.
Yeah.
Not always the case. There can be some very important things in there, and especially in seats like these, where the logic is so convoluted to go back and forth. There can maybe a hidden gem in the hints early on that can lead you on the right path. But yeah, I mean, it just happens. And yeah, I guess also, like, we have seen pausing you on the watch station access the second time you were there. So just for confusion, you were probably pulling up a tutorial at that point, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you were learning the trick.
I know how to do the trick. It was more, I've not done it in a while, so my button inputs, I couldn't remember the order of the button inputs, so that's why I pulled up the tutorial. I was looking for one that had like the controller, so you could see the inputs, and I was like, right, that's what I'm doing wrong. I was sequencing 2 of the buttons in the wrong order.
I figured, but it's good to know for confirmation. But yeah, I do think like that's all I kind of have to ask about the seat. Like, there was not really much options for divergence at the point with the back and forth. It was probably being not the nicest thing to play. Yeah, with
the early
field.
like the early light suit was kind of scary
Yeah.
because it put a lot of, like, as I said, like point and no return, like feeding pit into logic, things like that. So it was a lot of like weird possible plays that could have just been really bad, and kind of were bad by the end of the game as well. But yeah, I think early logic was very straightforward. You were kind of funneled in a very specific direction. Yeah, nothing else I can really think of myself.
Otherwise, it was really well played. I mean, there's maybe the thing with Defiled Shrine and Cannonball being there.
Oh yeah.
Like the first time I was there, like the model didn't really look that big, so I initially thought it was Spider, which it could have been, and that would have opened up a bit of possibilities. Yeah, I guess knowing that Cannonball was there was actually quite convenient for the end boss, at least.
Yeah, there was a part of me that had like a brief thought that I could do it NSJ to steal the cannonball, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to spend too much time. But yeah, I wanted to kind of confirm it was the Spider, because if I could scan it and confirm that it was Spider, then I knew the requirements where Space Jump wasn't, in a sense. So if that was Spider, I knew Spider could unlock Space Jump, things like that, and then I knew what I could like route out. But with it being Cannonball, I was like, well, that doesn't tell me anything. But it's a nice place for it. But it doesn't tell me anything.
It was also one of the things that Nystrata took a while to figure out, to get around to. Got initially even the Defiled Shrine Keybearer hint, so knew about the Morphball related upgrade. But yeah. It could have been an interesting piece of the logic, but it wasn't in the end. But yeah, I think that's really all that have. As I mentioned, your next opponent will be decided later today. As for the early match I mentioned, that will be Astro versus Sasquatch. As I said on SpeedGaming 3, we have Bello as commentator for that. Still space open. Got that. Also, for the second match later tonight, we have Rico already as commentator for those ones. So yeah, if you want to see more Metroid Prime 2 Rando, SpeedGaming 3 will be your channel. But yeah, that's all from my side. GG's again, Chris.
Thank you.
If you have not done so, links to follow both runners are in the channel. And yeah, see you in 40 minutes for the next mission on SpeedGaming 3.
Bye-bye.